again from the French Alps, and happy Bastille Day, or as we seem to call it now, happy Fete Nationale. Today I've got my first circuit race, probably for 2 years. It's a 5 kilometre circuit, 11 laps. Let's see how we get on. The weather's a bit moody. So here we go, rolling out behind the lead vehicle just to neutralise the first half of the lap. I think there'd been an incident in the cadets race earlier in the afternoon, and as you can see there's a couple of sharp corners, and at this point we have got the wind behind us, so it was to just control the speed as we roll out from Cervens. This is the start of the short climb and the lead vehicle is away, and already it's boom, off we go, 600 watts, trying to stay in the bunch. I think it's the 4th time I've done this event now. Normally it's in the high 20s, early 30s. In the middle of July. It's always held on Bastille Day, 14th of July, but this time it was a chilly 16 or 17 degrees, quite greasy, quite wet. You've probably seen the weather from the Tour de France coverage. It's been a strange summer in France up to now, with very few warm days, a lot of thunderstorms and a lot of rain. The great thing about these short circuit races is that you do get to choose your line, and here you can hear the tree hit the top of my helmet. I found some tree debris in my helmet at the end of the event. Needless to say, I gave that tree a bit of a wider berth. As we descend here now with the wind behind us, you can just see Lake Geneva down on the left hand side. With the health crisis, I have had a lot more time to train this year. Albeit I didn't do as much on the turbo during the winter, I just tended to ski tour a lot more. But the start of the morning here, my whoop score was 85%. For those of you that use Whoop, I'd had pretty much 2 easy days. I'd had a 99% Whoop score and an 85% Whoop score. And then today, the day after the event, it's down to 50%, which for me is a really good recovery. I did expect to be in the red this morning. So these guys from Chris Net, they're like the kind of the Ineos of the racing locally. Look at him, tapping that guy, really no need for that. He's like, get out of my way, I'm coming through. He does it again in a second. And I really don't understand it. It's as if he thinks he owns the road, but here he goes. What's the point of that one? Quite often it's one of their guys that ends up on the podium, but not to be today. A bit like the Tour de France. It was a super windy day, lap 5, few spots of rain as well, and at this point we've got the wind behind us and we're doing 50 to 60 k's an hour on the downhill sections with the wind behind us, but here we're just starting the climb and I'm trying to shelter over the left hand side of the road. The wind's coming in on my right hand side and there's just this split in the bunch and I completely missed this, so I was struggling to hang on at this point, and I'm doing like 400 watts, looking for some shelter behind this guy's wheel, and that's it. I'm trying to squeeze through here, but the gap's already gone and it was just impossible to close at 370 watts, and it's amazing how big a gap that split the bunch in such a short time. This is the next lap round though, and we are pegging them. You can see the bunch just over to the right there. I think it was about a 20-30 second gap at that point. This guy's super strong. With a circuit race like this, you get to know who are the strong guys, but he was mega strong. This is just about the one point where we actually got organised to put on the chase, and we were doing a little bit of through and off, but it didn't last very long. So it was about a 50-50 split in the bunch, and on this shot you can just see the first bunch on the road over on the right hand side. They're about 30 seconds ahead at this point. These events are really great. You turn up like an hour before kick-off, show your French racing licence, pay your €10 and that's it. So coming through the bell lap, and our second group on the road has started to splinter, and I managed to get across to these guys that had just jumped away on the climb, so close the gap here. And on the last climb we're starting to pick up stragglers from the group in front, and they're less than 15 seconds in front of us now. I think if there'd have been another lap, same old story, we'd have caught them. So the sprint is into the teeth of the wind, and I think we're sprinting for maybe 12th or 13th place. Few attempts at going for the long one. But at this point, I'm just happy to have pretty much finished in the bunch. So that was definitely type 2 fun, but brilliant. Well marshalled, super fast, 36.7 kmh average. I think it's Peroni time. Thanks for watching. See you next time when we'll be in a sportive rather than this, which was an out and out proper road race.